we are aware. We are aware that racialized folks experience barriers getting into real estate development. We also are aware that if you are racialized and you are a woman, the barriers are extremely significant. And so you both have done such a tremendous job of continuing to build such incredible profile and have such incredible impact. And we just want to get a sense of the barriers you've encountered and how you've nurtured your capacity to continue to sort of move through them.
So where do I start? Because they're at every step of the way. And I still think that, we still have a very long way to go to tackle this issue. And it's not anywhere close to being resolved. And it's funny because when we started the all-female development project, there were so many mixed messages that we were getting, so many comments that, I remember me and Taya used to message each other, did you read this? Did you read that? And we were shocked and in awe. But I'll tell you, one of the worst ones that I received personally was when I had my office and I was doing the single family homes. I had hired these young kids, what I called them young kids because they were younger than me. And they were just out of school and they were looking for a job. I hired this guy who was just out of George Brown College. I brought him in and I taught him the way to help me get the permits, move the projects ahead as far as getting the permits and whatnot. And eventually, after a couple of years, he had a kid. He decided to work from home when work from home was not a thing, right? So it didn't work for me. I wanted the presence in the office and I had other staff. So, I said, we parted away, without any problems. When my projects got announced and then the newspaper articles started to come, I remember my assistant sent that article to the people that used to work for us or were a part of the team. And the message that he sent back was this sort of snapshot of an article that said, the bridge collapsed because of the design, the engineer that was a female somewhere in the world, and somewhere in the US. I don't exactly remember. I still vividly remember the image, but I can't remember the words. But it was, and then he sent that and he said, haha, watch their building, collapse because their engineers are women. I literally read that and I thought to myself, I taught you everything you know about this business. I took you under my wings and I taught you how to do it. And this is someone who worked for me for many years. And, that's not it. That's not the only way. On a job site, I did say, one of the stories about the guys, passing by me and going and talking to the painter. But I literally had a plumber run after me with a metal, like a pipe, to hit me because I told him that you're not putting something in a proper place. The discrimination is physical, it's emotional, it's absolutely in any way you can imagine. So for us to stand up for our rights, for us to fight for what we deserve, it's not easy. And these examples of stories that I'm telling you, I'm not the only one who has to live with them or has been through them. I've been through it a little bit worse just because I put myself out there more than other people. But if I didn't put myself out there, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And as I grew in the business, believe me, it even got harder and harder. Misogyny in the development industry, them thinking that because you're a woman, you can't strike a deal, and you being a woman can't get this deal done, is continuously happening in our industry from the closest people to us. And on the other hand, there are those who support you. So there's two ways to the story. So I can't sit here and tell you that the crazy guy who ran after me, who was my dad's age with a pipe, is that's how everyone should be perceived. But I tell you, they exist. But what they do to a person like me is they just make me stronger, and they make me feel like I want to go and fight the fight and get to where I want to get with more of a sort of just fight for it more, just not give up. But I also needed the support of all those people that were around, all those people that were there to help me. And I always use this example of my partner that I cold called, and it was a funny story because he said, come and meet me, I met with him and I tell him it was one of the best cold calls I ever made because he became a mentor. He still calls me crazy at times. He says, Sherry, you're crazy for doing whatever you're doing, but he still supports me, and you know, those people also exist. They help you grow, they help you prosper, but the problems in our industry for women are not being resolved. Whether it is at the table, at the negotiation table, whether it is at construction sites, whether it is in a boardrooms, in meetings, or if it is dealing with financing. They look at you, you're young, you don't come with a background, you're a woman. Well, you know what, come back to me in 30 years when you have a track record. Well, hopefully in 30 days I don't need you. That's usually my answer. But unfortunately, that's the problem in our industry. And let's just say, as much as people think it's getting better, I think it's not getting better. Because we still have to give awards for people doing inclusion and equality and all of these things as a motto for their company. That is a problem, and we should definitely think about it.